I'm in the first 15 seconds.
We're late.
Well, good evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started because your time is very valuable to me, and my time is very valuable to me also. So, it's nice to see everybody. I want to say welcome, 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 and welcome. If you've got a chance to look at the agenda, we're going to go ahead and start the Leavenworth Preservation Commission meeting for Wednesday, July 10th, 2019. And I believe we have a quorum, so I'm going to call the meeting to order. Would you like to look at these?
Okay, I'm good. Sure. I'm very familiar with the material.
But I'll take them back at the end of the meeting. Thank you. It's about sharing. If everybody's had a chance to look at this, I'll entertain a motion to accept the agenda as presented in the minutes from the previous meeting.
I move that we accept the minutes from the previous meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. It's been moved and properly second that we accept the agenda and the minutes from the previous meeting. And I'll start with the voting on my far left.
Aye.
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 I'll abstain, I was not here.
Okay.
Aye.
Okay. It is 4 with 1 abstention because he was not present. We'd like to thank the person that provided all this wonderful information. Again, thank you for all the due diligence that you put in to make sure that I have an idea of what I'm talking about in a timely manner so I can read ahead of them. We don't have any old business this evening, so I guess we will go directly to new business. And we have something referenced 507 Shawnee Street. And if you would like to, Julie?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you said, this is regarding 507 Shawnee Street. The property is part of the downtown Leavenworth Historic District. The property owner is proposing to install a commercial vent fan on the west side of the building. That's being installed as part of a renovation to install a commercial kitchen in the property. The owner is looking to open a restaurant in the property. So it's actually just around the corner from us. We're up here in the top right corner, and they're just around the corner on Shawnee Street here at 507. The vent fan will be going in on the west side of the building, so on the side adjacent to that open parking lot, and so it would be visible from Shawnee Street, which is why we're here, since it would be visible. And it would be similar in looks. This is the back of Tenpenny Restaurant, and they've got a couple of these vent fans back here, and this is what we're talking about. This is what it's going to look like, and they're just proposing to install one of these there on the west side of that building. So we've got a number of required reviews, so I'll just run through those really quick, since it is a fairly minor addition here. So the property shall be used for its historic purpose or placed in a new use that requires minimal change to the defining characteristics of the building. The existing structure will undergo no physical changes except for the addition of the exhaust fan. The historic character of a property will be retained and preserved. The removal of historic materials or alteration of features shall be avoided. There's no features or materials that will be removed. Number 3, each property shall be recognized as a physical record of its time, place, and use. Changes that create a false sense of historical development, such as adding conjectural features or architectural elements from other buildings, shall not be undertaken. None of that is proposed as part of this project. Number 4, most properties change over time. Those changes that have acquired historic significance in their own right shall be retained and preserved. And then again, no prior changes are proposed to be modified with this. Number 5, distinctive features, finishes, and construction techniques are examples of craftsmanship that characterize a historic property shall be preserved. Again, no existing features, finishes, or construction techniques will be altered. Number 6, deteriorated historic features shall be repaired rather than replaced. There's no replacement of historic features, again, proposed as part of this. Number 7, chemical or physical treatments such as sandblasting shall not be used. None of that is proposed with this. Number 8, significant archaeological resources affected by a project shall be undertaken and preserved. No known archaeological resources exist on this. Number 9, new additions, exterior alterations, or related new construction shall not destroy historic materials that characterize the property. The new work shall be differentiated from the old and shall be compatible with the massing, size, scale, and architectural features to protect the historic integrity of the property and its environment. To install the fan, some bricks will need to be removed on the outside of the property, but that will be minimal in nature of what's being disturbed. And number 10, new additions and adjacent or related new construction shall be undertaken in such a manner that if removed in the future, the essential form and integrity of the historic property and its environment would be unimpaired. There is no new construction, but again, with this minor change to the exterior, if the fan was removed in the future with another renovation, those few bricks could be easily replaced and that wall restored. So staff would recommend approval of the installation of the proposed exhaust fan. And if you have any questions, I can answer those, and the applicant is here as well.
Jim?
The question I have is it gonna look exactly like the one behind Tenpenny? Is it the same company, same kind of?
I'm not sure if it's the same company. The cut sheet that the applicant turned in with their application does look like that one, but he could probably let you know if it's the same make and
Yeah.
any
You
of
always
that.
have to ask that, because sometimes you're like, yo, that's fine, and then all of a sudden it's like 5
It's
times the
different.
size, you know?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and let's see. Their application materials, this is, let me get it a little bit smaller. Yeah, this is what they had submitted, and that, I
Did
mean,
just
to
miss
me
the
looks
Dems on it,
the
or-
same. I mean, this is the unit that they're proposing to use. So, I mean, it'll be turned, since it'll be on the side of the building, but that does look, yeah,
Okay.
like those,
Yeah,
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 what
it
we're
looks
seeing on
pretty much the
Tenpenny.
same.
Yeah, it sure does.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions?
I have no problems with it. Driving by, it's no problem.
And are the applicants, are you guys the applicants? Would you care to say anything in support of what you're doing?
Come on up to the podium.
Come on up to the
Yeah.
podium, please.
We can hear you better that way, at least I can. I have a question for you.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
You're proposing to put in a restaurant.
Yes, sir.
What kind of restaurant is it going to be, sir?
It's gonna be crab legs and seafood and chicken wings.
And when do you plan to open?
Sometime this year.
nice.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm excited.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
stole my
that's
question.
See, we usually share questions, and that was kind of what it was. It's going to involve food, so that's our subtle way of finding out what it is that we're going to go individually at and make sure that we get by there to eat it. And what are you planning, sometime later on this year, you plan on opening, is that correct? Okay. Are there any other questions?
No.
Well, then I will entertain a motion, is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we go ahead and grant the approval for this installation of an exhaust fan, 507 Shawnee.
I second it.
It's been moved and properly seconded to approve the installation of the new vent. I think that's what I would call it, exhaust fan, excuse me. I'll begin my voting this time on my far right with you, Deb.
Aye.
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 An aye. So it looks unanimous. We'll be looking forward to taste testing.
Best of luck.
Good luck.
Best of luck.
But really, actually, thank you very, very much for coming, because it always helps us when people come to, in case we have a couple questions that maybe only they can answer. But thank you very much again.
We can always use more crab legs too.
Okay. Is there anything else on our agenda today?
Nothing else on the agenda. We do have at least one item for the August meeting. So we will be meeting then, and just to kind of remind you, Michelle will send out another reminder, but it'll be a week later because I'll be out of town. So I believe it's August 14th. is the August meeting when we'll be convening again, and so you'll be getting information on that when it gets a little bit closer.
I will be in Canada then, and I won't be able to even, like, be available by phone, so I know I'll be gone on that one.
Okay.
As long as we get a quorum.
As long as we get a quorum, I think I should be here. That's August.
I'll be here.
I don't think I'm going anywhere, I think I'll
so-
be here.
Well, you've been everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, we gotta find someplace that you haven't been. So it looks like that we'll potentially have a quorum, and then we'll check with John. And then I'm just gonna ask the obvious question. Wendy, did you have something, or you're just visiting for the evening? Okay, so have you talked to them about getting membership to your downtown organization yet? Okay, well, that's important also. Take a time to introduce yourselves and vice versa after this meeting is over. If that is all the business that is in front of us for the evening, I would be more than happy to entertain a motion.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
Second?
It has been moved and properly second that we adjourn and we get our wonderful support staff home a little bit earlier. Barring any other considerations, it's a unanimous vote of we are going to adjourn. And thank you, everybody. And again, as always, as I try to make sure I do this, thank the wonderful staff that supports us, because it makes it really easy to be very competent with the wonderful staff that we have to support us. So thank you, and let's get everybody out of here. I hope I've managed your time well.
Good job there, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you so much.